Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel, a spiritual user manual for life. This channel is dedicated to reading, unpacking, and analyzing the text section of the book, A Course in Miracles. It contains valuable knowledge, very much in need by everyone, because of the philosophical style it is written in. Many have difficulty comprehending it, having studied it for many years. I offer my understanding. As a Langnap, I include knowledge drawn from the Seth books of Jane Roberts. The sparkly edition version of the book is used. The videos follow the order of the text. This one is for the section in Chapter 1, Distortions of Miracle Impulses, to distinguish between the text and my commentary. The word text will precede the text. The word comments will precede the commentary. Note, the voice of the text is that of Jesus. Let's begin. Chapter 1, Distortions of Miracle Impulses. Text. You are involved in unconscious distortions, which are producing a dense cover over miracle impulses and which make it hard for them to reach consciousness. The nature of any interpersonal relationship is limited or defined by what you want it to do. Relating is a way of achieving an outcome. The danger of defenses lies in their propensity for holding misperceptions rigidly in place. All actions which stem from reverse thinking are literally the behavioral expressions of those who know not what they do. A rigid orientation can be extremely reliable, even if it is upside down. In fact, the more consistently upside down it is, the more reliable it is. Comments. The numerous obstacles to the awareness of love's presence that are in our minds has led us to erect layers of beliefs that we are very firm in and not even willing to examine, far less change whenever challenged. Consider the following. Death is a fate for each physical life. We know for each of us, one day our body will die. Yet many of us are scared to death of this fate. We are willing to go to all sorts of extremes, spend ridiculous amounts of money, live in states that are barely existing, to postpone or even try to avoid it. All because of the belief in hell. This belief is so deeply held that we ignore the lack of any proof of its existence, while denying the numerous evidence that a much more desirable state is the reality. Miracles are forever working on removing this obstacle. Text. However, validity is still the ultimate goal, which reliability can only serve. Hostility, triumph, vengeance, self-debasement, and all kinds of expressions of lack of love are often very clearly seen in the fantasies which accompany them. But it is a profound error to imagine that because these fantasies are so frequent or occur so reliably, that this implies validity. Remember that while validity implies reliability, the relationship is not reversible. You can be wholly reliable and entirely wrong. While a reliable instrument does measure something, what use is it unless you discover what the something is? This course, then, will concentrate on validity and let reliability fall naturally into place. Comments. This is why we must examine all of our beliefs. Are they valid? Can they be verified? How reliable are their results? We owe that much to ourselves to ensure that this criteria is met. If we are to invest time and effort in any belief, this way we prevent ourselves from going down dead ends or off on unnecessary tangents. Remember, our peace, happiness, and progress are at stake. Text. The confusion of miracle impulses with physical impulses is a major source of perceptual distortion because it induces, rather than straightens out, the basic level confusion, which underlies the perception of all those who seek happiness with the instruments of this world. Inappropriate physical impulses or misdirected miracle impulses result in conscious guilt if expressed and depression if denied. All real pleasure comes from doing God's will. This is because not doing it is a denial of self. Denial of error results in projection. Correction of error brings release. Lead us not into temptation means do not let us deceive ourselves into believing that we can relate in peace to God or to our brothers with anything external. Comments. How do you know if you're on the right track, making the right decision? We go back to the basic criteria. Is it valid? Is it verifiable? Are the results reliable? In practical terms, who is it serving besides me? Does it bring peace and joy to others? Can it do this consistently? This criteria requires thought. As such, it limits impulsive behavior. Text. Child of God, you were created to create the good, the beautiful, and the holy. Do not lose sight of this. The love of God for a little while must still be expressed through one body to another, because the real vision is still so dim. Everyone can use his body best by enlarging man's perception so he can see the real vision. This vision is invisible to the physical eye. The ultimate purpose of the body is to render itself unnecessary. Learning to do this is the only real reason for its creation. Fantasies of any kind are distorted forms of thinking because they always involve twisting perception into unreality. Fantasy is a debased form of vision. Vision and revelation are closely related, while fantasy and projection are more closely associated because both attempt to control external reality according to false internal needs. Twist reality in any way, and you are perceiving destructively. Reality was lost through usurpation, which in turn produced tyranny. I told you that you are now restored to your former role in the plan of atonement, but you must still choose freely to devote yourselves to the greater restoration. As long as a single slave remains to walk the earth, your release is not complete. Complete restoration of the sonship is the only true goal of the miracle-minded. Comments. The Course has a sneaky way of introducing ideas that can easily be missed. The word usurpation was introduced for the first time. In the context the Course uses it. We took over God's role. At least we believed we did. All hell then broke loose. The plan of atonement, recognizing our mistakes and taking steps to repair the damage done, was created to cleanse our minds of this distortion and get us back on track. Text. No fantasies are true. They are distortions of perception by definition. They are a means of making false associations and obtaining pleasure from them. Man can do this only because he is creative. But although he can perceive false associations, he can never make them real, except to himself. Man believes in what he creates. If he creates miracles, he will be equally strong in his belief in them. The strength of his conviction will then sustain the belief of the miracle receiver, and fantasies become totally unnecessary as the wholly satisfying nature of reality becomes apparent to both. Comments. Here's another law of mind that we are to learn. What you think about, you bring about. Put another way, what you believe you will see, and what you see, you will believe. This circular nature gives it its strength, which reinforces the importance, the necessity of employing the proper criteria as mentioned earlier. Valid and verifiable inputs will produce reliable results of a desirable nature. The opposite is gigo, garbage in, garbage out. Now you'll definitely need a miracle, a love injection, to break out of that loop. Understanding and recognizing these distortions will go a long way towards removing them from our minds. It took a while to erect them. It will take a while to remove them. We're being given the tools for this essential task. As always, I recommend to examine these ideas carefully. Put them to the test. Are they valid? Can they be verified? Truth be told, some of them being so new and different, we do not have the appropriate tools and awareness to properly evaluate them. This is understood and expected. This is a course meant to teach and train us. It would not be necessary if we, most of us that is, already knew this. Patience is my recommendation. Members of the sonship and daughtership, hope you join me for the next recording. Chapter 2, Section 1, The Illusion of Separation. If you've gotten any value from this video, please like, share, and subscribe.